All right. What? Can you hear me okay, guys? There we go. And what is that? Still trying to figure some things out here. Can you guys hear me okay? Hello and welcome. If anyone's in the chat, if you can tell me if you can hear me, if we're good to go, that would be great. How's the picture? Audio quality okay? I've got an iPad sitting here, but it is delayed. So I'm just trying to figure this out a little bit. Just making sure we're good. It's time to be nice is here. Cadwin is here. Good deal. Um, the chairman, Richard from England, is here. All okay. Good. Appreciate you doing that. Can you hear me? I've got some wicked delay going on. I think I have to mute my iPad, but I'm not sure how to do that. We're figuring this out slowly but surely. Why can I hear my voice on my phone? Sorry, guys. I just want to get this right. We'll get started here in just a second. While I'm figuring this out, go ahead and check in. Tell me where you're from and where you're watching from. Whatever. Okay. I don't know how this works. All right. Can you still hear me? Got to mute my own phone. Audio sounds good. There's no echo from iPad. Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on. All right. Jake is my technician, but is the audio lined up with my mouth? I know we had that problem last week where the audio was delayed from what I was saying. The audio is okay, I'm guessing. Cadwin, okay. Audio's fine. Okay, great. I'm gonna not worry about it anymore. We're just gonna get going. Okay, well, to get started off, guys, go ahead, hit the like button. That helps, I guess, tell more people that we're live here. That really helps, and I appreciate that. So if you hit the thumbs up, and we can get rolling here. So what I wanted to do tonight, there's a couple things I actually want to talk about as we get going, and that'll be kind of like the video portion tonight, and then as hopefully more people get on and things, we'll do questions and answers. So start thinking of some questions, or else it's going to be awful quiet and boring. um, so, just as a quick way of introduction, in case there's anyone new or anyone pops in here for the regulars, I apologize. Bear with me for just a minute. I'm Dude. I'm 53 years old. I'm kind of trying to reset my life a little bit. So we're trying to lose 110 pounds, or somewhere in that range. So 100 to 110 pounds. I'm currently down about 25 to 27 pounds. So we're almost a quarter of the way there officially. And Really, the way I'm getting there is a combination of diet and exercise and accountability. And this YouTube part is the accountability part. The diet part, I'm doing a ketogenic diet. There's a lot of people who follow here who report in daily who are doing several different diets. I'm not going to go over it like I have every other week, but basically, it doesn't matter if you're doing keto, carnivore, vegan, balanced macros, whatever. I support you. The point of the channel here is to find like-minded people who want to make some positive change in their life and who are just trying to get it done, where we can uplift and support one another. So that's kind of the idea. Exercise wise, I do my best. Um, I try and go on a walk every day. I try and lift weights, do strength training 3 days a week. I alternate upper and lower body. And then I've been doing some mobility training, very basic stuff, arm movements, just trying to sit in a squat, hang from a bar. So far, I'm not 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 getting good at that stuff. So we're trying. Um, anyway, John, welcome. Can I give one tip to the upcoming generation on my life experiences? Yeah, you got to focus. You got to stay engaged and you got to be present. Try and be present with every person you meet. Try and be engaged. We are life is filled with distractions, especially to the younger generation who grew up on iPads and iPhones and you know every kind of streaming service, and distractions are a major thing. So you got to try and you know laser in, get focused, and be present wherever you're at, whether that be work, school, home, family, spouse, girlfriend, whatever. You know what I mean? Try and be present and engaged. There it is. I'm going to do some more questions later on. So if you want to keep them in kind of in the bank, that's great. And I want to talk about a couple things tonight. So one thing I don't know if you guys have noticed for the regulars here, I changed my channel banner. So I want to talk about the channel just for a second here. Um, the channel banner, you have to kind of go to the homepage, I think. Which I know when I'm on YouTube, I don't do that a whole lot. And I still got an echo going on here. It's weird when I'm talking, I can hear my own phone playing it back for some reason, even though I have the volume turned all the way down. So I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, I'll get over it. So I changed the channel banner, and there's a new slogan at the top of the channel. The channel's name is Dude's World. I'm Dude. This is my world. It's what it's all about. And bottom line is, there's a new slogan at the top. It says "Showing Up Daily," and I think that is what it's all about. Whether you're going through some sort of a transformation, life change, meaning you're trying to better your life, you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to better relationships, better your finances, um, studying in school, what have you. You got to show up. So I think that's kind of the motto right now is showing up daily. And that's what I'm trying to do, trying to show up every day for you guys and for me. So have I ever live streamed before? This is like my third time. Two test runs. I'm still figuring it out. So I'm thinking eventually we got to get more people on the channel here, but I'm thinking maybe at some point make a T-shirt that says "Showing Up Daily," um, because that's what it's all about. If you're not showing up, I mean, and here's the thing. Here's what I want to talk about. On the channel, um, YouTube is weird. Okay. It's a strange phenomenon. I've been making videos daily now for about 77 days, I think. Since March 3rd. I've done a daily video documenting the journey. March 16th was the official start date of my 100-pound weight loss goal. So, you know, we're into that 60 days, a little over 60 days now. So, but I've been making videos, and what's interesting is you get people who come, and there had a couple of spikes. We had a couple of videos do really well. A lot of people subscribed. A lot of people came, and then bottom line is things, taper off. Some things do good, some things don't. But what's interesting is I get a lot of comments. I get a lot of engagement from the community and from the regulars, and it's pretty awesome. But there's a strange thing that happens. I start to recognize your guys' names, your usernames. A lot of times I don't know your real name, but you'll check in, you'll support me, you'll post some accountability of your own. And I'm showing up every single day, right? I'm doing my part for my own journey and to also try and be there to support you. If you find a little motivation or inspiration, then wonderful. That's great. I'm glad to be of service there. But the reason for the showing up daily slogan is you gotta show up too, guys. And so I want to try and get this kind of this philosophy, this mentality of we show up daily. We show up daily for each other on this channel. We show up daily for the people that we care about in our real lives. And we show up most importantly daily for ourselves. So as I post videos, I mean, I would love it if you guys just created, maybe I'll create like a little kind of a template or something where you guys just come in. And for those of you who are on the weight loss grind, like I am, you come in and say, here's what I ate, here's what I did for exercise. And it's accountability. We need accountability partners. And if we have accountability partners and we have not only accountability partners, but if we have a place to share that and to be hold ourselves accountable, it creates a powerful community where people uplift each other. So that's kind of the idea of showing up daily. So if you look at the new channel banner, it says showing up daily, and it's smaller as Dude's World because Dude's World, great name, whatever. I like it, but that's not the whole point. Point is to be here and do things. Can you show up for my good jokes? You sure can. Um, I try to read the comments as I'm going, but sometimes it just throws me off. So, especially when people say something funny, and I can only focus on one thing at a time, guys. So, the next thing I want to go over, and this is kind of more of the video portion. I want to talk about some of the tools that I've been using to help me along the weight loss journey. So, one of the biggest ones, surprisingly enough, is ChatGPT. Now, um, I had the free version of ChatGPT for a long time. Just it's like Google. It's like a almost like a better version of Google. I'd go and I'd ask questions, dumb questions, da da da. And I had a friend tell me one day, he goes, "You need to go in and create a health profile, and just create one thread that basically says, you know, Dude's Health or whatever. Put your name, put your health thread, save the thread so you don't delete the actual thread, and only go to that thread when you want to ask questions about your health." So that's what I did. Is I created this health thread and I started putting in, all of the symptoms that I experience. Um, you know, I'm obese. I'm overweight. I got high blood pressure. I'm type 2 diabetic. I got lower leg circulation issues. And I started asking chat different questions about each one of those specific things. And I started to get good answers. Actually, better answers than my cardiologist gave me. To be really honest, doctors, I'm not anti-doctor or anything, but let's face it, a lot of time they're guessing. So they're practicing medicine, which means they're trying to figure it out too. Unless it's something they've seen over and over and over, then a lot of times, boom, they know the answer. But if it's something a little bit whatever, a lot of times they're just trying to figure it out. So I started taking it into my own hands, and so I started having these long conversations with ChatGPT about specific health issues that I was experiencing. And I kept this all in the thread. And then I went in and I put in all the medications that I'm currently taking. There's four of them. There's three for blood pressure because I've had a hard time getting my blood pressure under control, and there's one for the type 2 diabetes, which is more of a blood sugar control. Now, I'm happy to say that on a ketogenic diet, my blood sugar is, I've been actually checking it daily right now, and it's been under 100 every single day, so that's really good. But I am still on medication, so I'm sure on my next appointment, which is going to be next month, hopefully, I'll start cutting down that medication. The blood pressure stuff, man, I'm hoping. I do not want to be taking those dang blood pressure pills, and I'm walking every day, so I'm doing things to try and better that, so that hopefully I can start weaning off that medication as well, and it'll be med free. So, um, and I have a doctor right now. She's an NP, but she's very supportive. She's supportive in the way that I eat. She's supportive in my exercise routine, and she's basically like, "Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing incredible, and we'll start cutting down those doses and get you off things." So, but I put all this stuff into Chat GPT, and I'd ask it questions, and then I put in my medication. I put in a couple of vitamins and supplements, and it started coming up, and I said, I need to map out a daily routine for me. And I started creating a daily routine of what I'm going to do to help combat some of these issues. Um, and then more recently on the dietary one, um, I basically said, "Hey, chat, this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to lose 110 pounds. I'm doing this YouTube thing. I'm holding myself accountable. Like I am going to do a ketogenic diet. Given my health situation that you already know about, is that a solid move?" Bam. I got validated that yes, that's a solid move for what I'm doing. So that's kind of how one of the ways I got to my dietary choices. Now, what's cool about it is I started a thread on ChatGPT that I just titled Keto Diet. Very simple, right? You could do the same thing if you're plant-based, if you're vegan, if you're carnivore, if you're, you know, whole food, balanced macros, whatever. Um, Ask that question again. If you're throwing up questions, ask it again in a couple minutes here. I'll start doing questions and answers. Um, but what's really cool is, and maybe I'll be able to show you how this works. I'm on my phone right now, so I can't do it. But maybe I'll make a video where I go to Costco and actually show you what I do. But on that thread, keto diet. And just to clarify too, I am on the $20 a month subscription now for ChatGPT. So I am doing the paid version because it doesn't time you out, and I can kind of just ask as many questions as I want. That's a Coke Zero for any of you wondering. I'm not opposed to it. So, um, so if I go to Costco, let's say, what's actually pretty stinking cool is I can just open up chat, go to my keto diet thread, take a picture of a product and say, "Can I eat this?" And it'll literally give me a breakdown of the macros, whether it's good for keto. It knows exactly what I'm trying to accomplish. And it's very, very simple. Thanks, Kermit. It's very, very simple to identify foods that are good or bad. And there's a lot of things where I've taken a picture of it and going, "Can I eat this?" And it's like, no, not if you want to stay in ketosis, not if you want to stay on what you're doing. And so I love it because it's so easy. Um, for as far as like tracking, I guess some people say like, "Why don't you use, MyFitnessPal, Chronometer, blah blah blah, carb manager." I've had all those in the past. And for different diets that I've tried and experimented with, I used to track and I used to put it in, and man, it gets to be such a pain in the butt. Now I just kind of know what to do, and I know how to eat. The program that I'm doing. But what's nice is if I really want to just kind of identify, I can literally take a picture of my plate of food. I can make a dinner. Let's say it's a ribeye steak with some broccoli and a salad or something like that. I can take a picture and it's going to basically just go, "Hey, like that's a great keto meal. Here's what you're looking at." It'll break down each food that I've got on my plate, and then it'll say your total macros is going to be about this many grams in fat, this many grams in protein, and you're under your net carbs that you're trying to stay under. So it'll literally, in one quick snapshot on a thread that it knows exactly what I'm trying to accomplish. And if I can show you my chat, which I can't right now, it I've got different threads for different purposes. So I've got one for the keto diet. I've got one for um, different goals that I have, one for my overall health plan. I've got one for my YouTube channel. I've got one for different questions that I just ask it. And I'll say, "This thread is only for this purpose. If I ask any other question in this thread, basically deny it." And it will. And so if I say something and if I ask it a question and it's not part of that topic of that thread, it'll basically just shut me down, and we're on to the next thing. So that's been a massive help for me. so far. Oh, and exercise too. I put in my exact exercise plan, my mobility. Um, you know, it'll basically like I can put in my exercise, my mobility plan, all that stuff, and I can ask it a question or say, "Hey, I'm struggling with this move," and it'll actually just pop up and give you some ideas or give you some moves. So as far as diet and exercise, goal setting, I've been using chat. Now you can use Gemini, you can use, there's lots of AI agents out there now. But that's just the one I've been using and I've just found it working. Now I'm kind of deep into it. It kind of knows me. I know what questions to ask it and it's working. Um, and so that's one thing. It's not like a specific app or anything. It's something you can do. It's you get the free version and you can do it. The only thing difficult about the free version is it kind of times you out. And maybe Gemini or some of those are a little bit better. Maybe it gives you more freedom or something. Um, I don't know. I don't know about all those other ones. But using chat and having those health profiles and dietary profiles, workout profiles has helped me definitely get dialed in. So anyway, those are the two things I want to talk about. The new slogan of the channel, showing up daily, and some AI tools, just basically Chat GPT and using that to do some things. So anyway, we're about 20 minutes into this thing. So give me some feedback. What are your thoughts on the slogan? What are your thoughts on have you used AI? Or do you have other questions? We're gonna kind of open it up. And if you guys don't have any questions, hopefully not goofy questions or troll questions, but um shoot away. I'll do my best to answer them. I'm pretty much an open book. Depends on how open. The slogan fits. Yeah, showing up daily. Give me a question. Would you wear a shirt? Would you wear a shirt that says showing up daily? Would if I made one for the channel? Is that something you'd do, or are we still too early for that kind of stuff? Um, Either way. And also, just want to make a quick plug out. You know, super chats are enabled, so if you got a question, you want to make a comment, you want to support the channel, all the super chats and things like that I get right now are going right back in. I bought this handy dandy little light. You can see it right there. Got a microphone, a mic, a couple of things that we basically done to try and make these things a little bit better. um, and it's all self-funded. It's not like I'm making money on YouTube. So if you guys do donate, I appreciate it. We had a few last week that did, and it would be awesome. Huh. Anyway, Melody Maker, appreciate you being here. What do you do to fight complacency? Oh man, that's a good one. You probably make a Richard. You're awesome. Number one, man. Um, how do you fight complacency? That's a good one because there's lots of different. I can think of several different examples of complacency. Sometimes one of the problems is people don't. Now, first of all, I'd say you got to have a goal. Number one, you got to have a goal, and you got to set the goal way higher than you think you might be able to achieve. You've probably heard of people say you got to set an unrealistic goal. I think that's totally true. For example, if you had an income goal, and I don't know where you're at in life, but let's say your goal income was to make, I don't know, 100 grand a year or something like that. Um, Man, I would come up with something outrageous. Um, because what happens with a lot of people is income's a great example because they get to where they want to be. And let's say you just get to where you're paying the bills, right? And Jeff, what's up, man? What happens is a lot of people get to where the bare minimum of where they need to be to live and survive, and then they stop, they get complacent. You've got to push beyond that. You got to have a goal that's bigger than you. um, you got to be engaged in a good cause or something that is greater than yourself. um, for me right now, because I have found myself complacent in life many times. um, so with weight loss, for example, I've talked about this a little bit, but I won that challenge back in 2008. Lost a bunch of weight, won this little fitness thing. got some money and prizes and everything. And I remember as soon as I hit the goal, it was the 18-week challenge. And as soon as I hit the 18 weeks, I'd lost 52 pounds. I was looking pretty good, but I still had a teeny bit of layer of fat on me. I didn't have a six pack yet, but it was starting to come through. You can start to see the definition of abs and stuff in there. And it's like, I took my after pictures. Challenge over. I'm going to submit my packet, see if I win. And I ended up being one of the winners. But the problem is, I set the goal to finish the 18-week challenge. That was a massive, massive mistake because as soon as I hit it, it's like the motivation was gone. And then as soon as I won, that was even worse because now I kind of quote unquote had the prize. And that's when I just let it all go away, let it all go apart. So, um, Edwin, I would donate, but this kind of economy has me stealing my neighbor's Wi-Fi. That's actually funny. Um, Appreciate the thought that you would donate. Um, anyway, so the bottom line is, I think you have to have a goal that's bigger than what you think you can accomplish. Because when you do get to those little milestones, you have to have something next to shoot for it. There's a lot of people on the channel, sorry, who leave comments and they're like, "I'm only 5 pounds away from my goal," and usually you'll see me reply back and say, "Great, what's the next goal? What's the next goal?" Because you have to keep going. Um, there can't really be an ending in sight. That's wonderful that you hit that milestone. Like your goal is to lose 50 pounds and you're there. Boom, great. So now set a new goal. What body fat percentage do you want to hit? Because a lot of times weight loss does not equal looks, right? I could lose 100 pounds and I could look very sickly. I could have loose, flabby skin. Um, Weight loss is really not the end all be all goal. That's just for me right now, losing 100 pounds or so is going to get me down into the weight range where my BMI is going to be healthy. I'm going to be at a healthy weight. I'm going to be all my health biomarkers should be better. But it's not the end all be all because I did this before. I lost 80 pounds doing keto like 5, 6 years ago. And I was super strict, super good. And I noticed one day just I wasn't exercising. I did it all off of just food, just eating. And I noticed one day I looked in the mirror and I saw it. Actually, no, I think I saw a picture of me. And I noticed my eyes kind of looked a little bit hollow, looked a little bit different. Um, Melody Maker gives a gift of $15. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're the man. You can lose weight simply through association of other like minds. Credit to you for being here. Yeah, I think the community is important. The community is a massive part of it. Because if you can find like-minded people, you've probably heard this successful people say you are a sum total of the top 5 people that you hang out with. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm screwed. You know what I mean? But if you can get around like-minded people, whether you want to create a business, you need to be around entrepreneurs. If you want around, if you want to lose weight or get fit, you need to be hanging out with fit people because you will become like the people that you associate with. That's just the bottom line. That's just human nature. So yes, simply through association, I agree with you, Melody Maker. Um, that's a massive thing. So, and once again, that's why I'm trying to do more than just a YouTube channel. That's why I'm trying to create a sense of community and it's hard, YouTube is public. It's not like, oh, it's a safe space or something like that. But, people are coming and reporting on what they're doing. They're reporting on how they're feeling. And so far, what I've noticed is everyone's been very supportive. I'm starting to see you guys comment on other people's comments, not just on my video or my comments, which is nice because there's other conversations happening. And even though I'm a small channel, I'm brand new. Um, right now, we're probably averaging about 500 views per video. But what's cool is I'll get like 100 comments because you guys are participating. And that's what makes the community, and that's what makes it so that people are like, "Hey, that's awesome." So anyway, Sharon says, I'm working harder at staying at the goal than I did getting to it. Yeah, guys, maintenance is a beast. Um, I think that's a huge one. And that's why, going back to what I said a minute ago, you've got to kind of always be setting a new benchmark, setting a new goal, because that's 100% right, Sharon. Once you're there, you know, I, I heard this mentality thing about quitting smoking, and you can apply this to any bad habit, overeating. Is the video delayed or is this AI? It's not AI. Hmm. Is it delayed for everybody or just for a few? Anyway, guys, let me know. Quality check. Um, but the bottom line is, what I found is, y- once you get there, yeah, you got to have a new target because maintenance is hard, and then it starts becoming very easy every day to want to do something different or say, okay, I'm already here. I can flub here. I can slip here. So, um, yeah, yeah, you may have to go back in. That's for RXCKZ. You may have to go out and come back in, and that may fix the delay. You're just a bit out with the sound. And I don't know why, guys. If you wanna close out and go back in, I don't know. I don't know if I gotta call the internet company, increase my bandwidth, pay more money. I don't know. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know how to fix it on my end. So anyway, maybe someone can get out and come back in and tell us if that helped them at all. If not, I'll keep trying. This AI guy is out of sync. So anyway, hopefully does that make sense? Someone else give me another question, something I can dive into for a couple minutes here. Could be about diet, could be about goals, could be about the workout. I don't know, dude. Thank you for the gift. Appreciate that. Nah, Mr. T962. Couple of cents. I like that, dude. Hey, whatever you can do, now we'll take it, dude. Here's my 2 cents. What do I do if I eat 47 dog treats? You might start barking, dude. I don't know. Woof. Ah, the internet. I love it, dude. Do you know you are not real? Hmm. Sharon says it's hard when your family eats differently from you. Yeah, completely. That's actually one of my hardest things. Right now, my wife is not even doing the same thing that I'm doing. She's doing better. She's making some of her own better food choices and different things, but she's not, she eats the same dinner as me most of the time because I cook. So she doesn't have much of a choice, you know. If I make steak and salad, she eats steak and salad. Um, but the rest of the time, she's doing some of her own things and kind of, making up her own mind and and yeah, it is hard. I wish that we were all everyone and my son Jake lives in the house. Sometimes they'll bring home food or um they'll bring home their own food. They'll do whatever and it's like it's hard. I just have to stay focused on the goal and I have to literally just be like, okay, like I'm doing what I'm doing no matter what right now. And I find that the more you get into it, and usually what I've kind of find is if you want to change the world around you, you have to change yourself first, and then usually people start to follow. So, but what I can't do is I can't say, hey, you should do this or you should do that. That doesn't work. I've definitely tried that with method before. You know, I nothing until late at night, like 10 p.m. Wish I had a wife to cook me a meal. It's almost like you're intermittent fasting without even knowing it. I love the holistic approach to life and health. What do you think about it? I mean, I guess you'd have to tell me more about what you're talking about. But if you're talking about like simple things like whole foods, great. If you're talking about, I mean, I think the more unprocessed you can. Whoops, says, I wish I had a wife too. Got a lot of single guys here tonight. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not anti-doctor. I think they come into play. And I think sometimes that's, you got to do what you got to do. I don't like being on medication, but once again, I think sometimes you have to take the edge off, or you got to have that little crutch to get you to where you want to go. You can't walk around with raging high blood pressure. So if you need a medication or something to get you down enough to where then you can start taking care of things yourself, kind of like I'm trying to do here, then it takes that edge off to where you're in at least a livable range, and then you can hopefully take care of yourself the way you need to so that you can cut down the medication and eventually get off. Does that make sense? But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like a, hippie granola tree hugger, all natural kind of guy, but I mean, I definitely try to, I'm right now, I'm trying to be as, you know, whole food as it can be, trying to do, I want to get off the medication. I do take a couple of supplements, nothing big. Creatine right now. I started taking creatine, monohydrate, and I'm doing fish oil. Um, that's really about it. Using some beef tallow on my skin, trying to get my skin looking a little bit better. Um, have you set a date for your goal weight? That's a good one, because I do believe that dates should have, or sorry, goals should have a timeline. Um, but Alexia, thank you very much. Um, I But no, I have not set a date. One of the reasons, let's see if this makes sense. Um, is in the past I get super hyper focused, right? I'm like either all the way in, but then if I get off, I go all the way off, and it's a really bad quality to have because I do tend to get focused on things, and then I do well. But then again, if I travel for a weekend or something, and I end up eating something that's not on plan, then all of a sudden I'll be off plan for like a week, 2 weeks, even 6 months before then you beat yourself up, and I find that I'm in this cycle, and I find myself where I'm just going, I then I have to find the motivation again to start again, and I just hate that cycle, and I know I'm not alone. I know there's probably millions of people out there in that same boat. So what I'm trying to do, this time around, is be like, you know what? I'm gonna get there. I know what my goal is, and as long as I'm progressing toward the goal, I'm not gonna put like a hard date, like by October 1st, I'm gonna be 100 pounds lighter, if that makes sense. But I do have every 10 pounds is like a new incremental goal. So right now I'm pushing to get below 230, and that's the next goal. I know what the overall objective is. Um, and once I get down into that range, once I get below 180, my goal right now is 155. That puts me at a healthy weight for my height and my age and and all that kind of stuff. But at some point, it also becomes about body composition. So then, if all of a sudden you know, want to start seeing abs or something, and I start getting down to that level of fitness where it's like I've been working out, my cardio's good, I feel good, all my health biomarkers are good. Okay, now how far can I take this thing? Then at some point I may be going, okay, can I get to 12% body fat? Can I get to 10% body fat? Um, and then it's kind of a different program. But right now, I'm trying to just take it one step at a time. Does that make sense? And I'm trying to focus on the mindset of what I do 90% of the time is what matters most. When I'm home during the weeks, you may have heard me say this before. I'm trying to be more like what I do 99% of the time and be solid, non plan. And if I flub up from here to here, just boom, get right back on plan because I don't want to get delayed or sidetracked for, you know, a day or a week or a month or 6 months. If I do something that's off plan, then I try and just get right back on. Boom, next meal, next day, whatever it may be. Um, Hopefully that makes sense. What's my height? I am a 5'9" on a good day. That's- if I stretch really tall, I'm 5'9", but probably somewhere between 5'8" and 5'9". Um, we're about 40 minutes into this thing, so go ahead, hit the like button, give me a thumbs up if you've been here, if you're sticking around, it helps out. Um, Again, super chats are enabled. If you've got a question, if you'd like to leave me I look at the super as kind of like a tip jar. It's kind of like, hey, thanks for showing up every day, dude. Appreciate you trying to motivate me. Appreciate you sharing your journey. Appreciate you. It's just like that. So anyway, Dallin says it's all about the long game. Absolutely, that's 100%, and that's really what I'm trying to focus on right now. Is there is no ending point. I know where the goal is, but there's not an ending point. Um, Pick a number between 1 and 100. Oh, I hope this is for some money. Um, let's see. IMJR2. What would you say? I'm going to say 69. So, do you like surfing? So, I grew up in Sacramento. There's no ocean there. And then I moved to Utah. There's really no ocean here. But I can tell you that when I was younger, much, much, much younger, um, we skimboarding became a big thing in Sacramento along the river. So I kind of learned how to skimboard there. Then we came here to southern Utah, and and I had another friend who had actually moved here from Sacramento, and so we actually started skimboarding. This is like back in like 1989, long, long time ago. And back then, we couldn't even get kids to go down to skim at the river with us. It was like it was a challenge. Even like the little skater boys, and the skater kids, it was hard to get them to go down. But it actually eventually picked up, became a big thing. Um, where I live now is probably very, very well known for flatland skimboarding. So yeah, do I like those kind of sports? Surfing, skimming, snowboarding. Yes, absolutely. Um, Mikey, Mike says, "Hey, love the channel. Just wondering how far you can." That's great, Mike. Hey, dude, that's wonderful. Thanks for being immature. Gotta love the internet, don't you, folks? So, yeah, we're this week is going good. Let's talk about this week. So, we're in week number 9. Um, Diet's been good so far this week. Everything else is kind of going up and down. Workouts have been good. We had a couple of days where it was a little bit stormy. I didn't get to go out on a walk. My foot was kind of hurting one day, so I didn't really, I've missed a couple of walks. I've been trying to switch up my mobility training, except for the hanging and the squatting part. But I've been trying to, all my other little, just movement things. I sit at a desk all day at work, so I'll get up and I'll just do those for like a minute, and then a little while later I'll get up and do another minute. And I've been trying to just do some of that stuff at work because trying to do the YouTube thing and show up every day for myself and for you guys is a challenge. Takes me some time to go on a walk, shoot a video, or film a workout, film myself cooking a dinner. Any of the type of topics or things that I've been doing. Um, it takes some time. Probably takes me a couple hours to kind of shoot, edit, upload, and then respond to comments and stuff. So, um, but it's been fun. It's been a challenge. I've learned a lot, but it's been fun. So, and I love the interaction with you guys. It's great. I love seeing what your progress is. Um, anyway, Sharon says, keep the clothes you wore on your first weigh in. Yes, I did it. And it keeps me motivated from a 3X to a size 10. Wow. Sharon, that's amazing. That is awesome. Congratulations. Thanks to Tea Party. and Wub and Dallin for getting all the internet teenagers out of the chat quickly. Love that. Chairman says, "Well done on getting all that done." Yeah, appreciate that. We keep walking when it gets really hot that this summer. Man, it is already hot this summer. I tell you what. Again, I'm in southern Utah, and it is. Oh, I can't tell the temperature. My watch won't let me. It's probably in the 90s out there right now. We've been over 100 degrees already, but once it's like 110 and stuff, you really can't go outside and walk until about 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night. And sometimes I will do that, because it still feels really good, but I mean, it'll still be like 98 or 95. You know, it doesn't really. At some point, it just doesn't really get that cool. Um, and so, yeah, but I will. Right now, I'm still trying to get out there. And Art says 10 to 12% body fat is considered an athlete. Under six is dangerous. Yep, under six is dangerous. You guys should see my son Dallin. Oh my gosh, I gotta like post a picture of him. I don't know if he'd let me. Homeboy is ripped. I think he probably lives at 7 to 8%. And he's eating like 4,000 calories a day, and he's just packing on muscle, and he's just yeah, he looks amazing. Now, my other son, Jake, he's skinny. He's built exactly like I was when I was his age, just thin as a rail. And he's going to be moving out soon. He's going to be going out to work out and live with my other son, Dallin, up north in northern Utah. So, you know, I'm expecting, he's going to move out in like a couple of weeks. So, if he moves out in mid June, man, I'm expecting by Christmas he better be ripped. So, Um, but Dallin, I mean, I keep telling him, I'm like, dude, you look better than freaking Mark Wahlberg, dude, when he did back when he was younger, when he was, when he was Marky Mark and did the Calvin Klein underwear model. Man, you could stick Dallin on like a billboard in Times Square, and he'd be selling them underwear. You know what I mean? So, uh, yeah, Todd, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Um, Innovative. I'm the king of my own story, making waves here too. Welcome to the timeline. Appreciate it. First time, Todd. First time on the live. Hey, it's only my third time, so and I'm the guy talking. So anyway, yeah, we're all new here. Again, we've got about 10 minutes left. So if you've got a question related to diet, workout, I'm trying to think of what else I can just throw at you. Um, but I'm trying to keep these things an hour. Um, it's trying to be nice. I'm 5'8.5". I think I would be way too skinny at 155. It kind of depends on your build too. Like I am literally just yeah, I'm skinny at 155. I'll be skinny at 155, but I won't like be too whatever. Won't be skin and bones still. I got down to 162 before, still had a layer of fat on me. Like I said, you could start seeing the muscle coming through. But you know, you know, I'm gonna turn those walks into runs eventually. Good question. I'm not a runner and I don't want to be. So does that make sense? Like I have no intention of running a marathon, even if I could. But would I probably, maybe jog or do some sprints? I might do something like that, you know. But as far as like long distance running and stuff like that, not a goal of mine. Same thing with biking. A lot of people like to cycle for exercise. I'll do a stationary bike for exercise. I don't mind that. I'd rather do a recumbent bike for just exercise. But as far as getting outside on a bike and like just like cycling, I'd rather go on an e-bike. When I go out there on our e-bikes, it's definitely it's more for recreation. It's not for exercise. Speed work is good. Yeah. Have you ever heard of Sprint 8? um, or just a standard hit cardio. Right now, I'm just kind of not there yet. I'm too heavy, so it's too hard on my knees to try and sprint or run. So I'm just trying to get out there and walk, get major movement, major muscle movement, build strength, and then hopefully at some point we'll pick that up. So yeah, I guess when the Diet Coke's gone, the live stream's over, right? Um, as far as community goes, these live streams are a little bit weird. Do you guys, I mean, in the comments below, right here in the chat, there's 25 of you online right now, but it's not a ton. But I mean, do you enjoy the live stream? Do you think it's worth it? Um, I know some people really enjoy it, some don't. Some stop by just to say something funny. Um, the all-in-one solution for every health is yoga. Yeah, I think I don't have a problem with yoga, you know? Ashton, Ashton, you need to give me a $50 super chat. That's what you need to do. Figured he'd show up here to harass me. I know Ashton Bear. Is that better? Is that better? Anyway, we've got a couple minutes here left. Anyone got a question? Anyone else got a question? I'm going out of town this weekend. Going out of town this weekend. So again, traveling up north. It's my oldest daughter's birthday. She's turning 30. Um, old woman. You know, right? She's turning 30. So we're going up the canyon to have a weenie roast, and she does it every year for her birthday. Invites all her friends and family, and has a campfire and a weenie roast. So I'll probably bring a couple brats, eat them without a bun. Try and stay away from some of the other garbage that's there, but it'll be good to celebrate her. And then we weren't all together for Mother's Day. My wife was actually up north babysitting our grandson. I stayed home with Jake, so this weekend we'll all be together. So Sunday we are going to have a little barbecue, and that's going to be kind of like our Mother's Day celebration since we weren't all together to celebrate her. So I think we're going to barbecue some kebabs. That way I can do steak and chicken. Um, Innovative says age is only a number. Yeah, I agree with that, and it's all right here, right? It's all in the. It's all in the. It's all mindset. It's all mindset, 60's the new 40. Is that right? Um, you'd like me to check my glucose and ketose levels during the live. We could compare. I could do that. I could do that. I will tell you this. I checked it right before I got on. My glucose was 98, and my keto. I ate. I don't know what I think I ate something the other day that wasn't great. I'm a point 0.4, which means I'm just barely out of low level ketosis. So, um, Art says, "Keep up the great work, dude. Whether we're at our goal or not, looking to reach your goal. Your journey is our journey. Great. I'm gonna keep here. You know, we'll keep going amongst the haters, amongst the Wiggity 73. So good night, and we're just gonna keep plowing through, man. I got a long way to go before I hit the goal. Like I said, 110 pounds, 155 pounds, or 110 pounds lost, 155, 160 pounds is my goal. Got a long way to go there, and then along the way, I'm going to be expanding the channel into other things because my goal is to never really try and become a fitness coach or anything like that. Um, but um, my goal is not to become a fitness coach or anything like that. So I want to expand the channel. You guys know, for those of you who have been around, I'm really into Disneyland, and I'll do some Disney content, barbecue content. Um, I actually had someone send me my first piece of gear. It's a little flashlight. Gonna do a little flashlight review. Probably posting that in the next week. So I kind of want to do, camping, barbecue, Disneyland, weight loss, fitness, motivation, kind of all wrapped into one. My transformation. So we got about 4.5 minutes left. If anyone wants to donate a super chat to the channel, that'd be great. The money is going to go straight towards camera equipment and making these things better. Hopefully, we can figure out the delay issue. It's been there every week. It might be my bandwidth. I don't know. I'm supposed to have, like, fiber optic, a good bandwidth, but I don't know. Something's going on. So if it's delayed on your end, I apologize. But thanks for sticking with me, and thanks for being here. Um, in the meantime, like I said, we'll be making I think tomorrow will be a little bit more of an action type video, some sort of a workout or cooking. Friday, we're going to be traveling, and maybe I'll film the weenie roast. Uh, so, Ashton sent a gift. Say thank you, Unc. Thank you, Ashton. You're the best. Listen, how about a tanning bed? Are you saying I need one because I'm pasty white, or are you saying what do I think about them? You know, complete question. It's, any thoughts on a walking pad? I've got one. I've got a walking pad. I bought it off Amazon. It's just a little cheapy. The thing I don't like about it, yeah, I wish it was wider. Um, I feel like when I walk, you kind of have to be looking down to make sure you get one foot in front of the other, or else I tend to kind of, you want to step on the sides of different things. But I think they're great. Um, if I eat a brat, what's my brand? I don't know that I have a brand. A lot of times I get those, like, I mean, nothing special. I'll get those like Hillshire Farms cheddar wurst or jalapeno cheddar ones. That's usually what I just end up doing. Usually there's like one carb. I'm sure they're not the best foods. I'm sure there's, some they're processed and crap. Um, but on something like that where I'm in that kind of situation, I just try and watch the carb. Yeah, Johnsonville. Yep. Something that's cheap at Walmart or something like that. I've picked up Costco brats. I mean, I'm really not a huge massive brat fan. I'd much rather eat a steak, but you know, Ashton said a floating heart. Thank you, Ashton. Anyway, sorry, my texts have been going crazy. I've got another couple of friends who aren't really on the live stream or the chat. They're going to start doing carnivore for 30 days and kind of want me to help coach them along a little bit. And so things keep popping up on my dumb chat. Caden Carnley, any healthier seasons that you like, sugar free? I don't know if there's really a certain specific one, but I just usually look at the labels. I've picked up some from Costco that are pretty good. There's a carne asada one that I really like that I'll put on my steak. And usually I just try and look and see if there's any sugar in there, see if there's any what the carb count is, and then if it's pretty clean, then I'll use it. I don't get too caught up over seasonings and things like that. Um, People say the funniest things, man. Oh, I just don't. I guess I just don't get it, dude. I don't pop into other people's chat to just say something stupid, right? But it's a thing out there, man. People love it, dude. They just jump on, say something totally lame. Anyway, we're about done with this thing. So, have you ever had? I Irie, Dylan, I'm calling you out, dude. His name's Dylan, and he's trying to be funny. Anyway, guys, that's about our time. It is 1 hour in. I appreciate you being here. I think we had a little fewer numbers than we did last week, but there was plenty of people that came in and out. We'll post the replay. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your time. Thank you for supporting what I'm doing, and my weight loss goals and my fitness goals. And anyway, hope you have a great week, the rest of your week, and a great weekend. We're showing up daily. That's the theme of the channel now. I hope you show up daily. Come to the comment section of the videos, post what you're doing for your what you're eating, what you're doing for your workout. Because if you don't come regularly and post, you just disappear. And when you disappear, it's easy to get off track. So we're doing this together, and let's make it happen. We'll see you tomorrow, dude. Out.